Major League Baseball fans, get ready for a close-up look from the top step of the dugout. Welcome to the Baseball Classics podcast, covering any season from 1901 to the present. We'll explore exciting pennant races, dive headfirst, analyzing and even doing some comparisons that are bound to settle an argument or start one up. And now, here's your host, Dean Patino.
Hello again, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to this Baseball Classics Diamond Cast. Make sure you head over to baseballclassics.com/magazine to get your free issue every month. You'll get it right away. All you have to do is give us your first name and email so we have you on our list. And of course, we can address you by your first name. And you'll get the digital magazine immediately, and then you'll be on our list to receive it moving forward every month. So we have thousands of readers. You'll join, again, all these other baseball fans reading our full-color publication of Baseball Classics magazine. So again, head on over to baseballclassics.com/magazine. Absolutely free, full color. We spend hours researching and covering topics from 1901 to present. All right, let's dive into today's intriguing episode. And that is, we're going to take a close-up look at how the 1927 Yankees were built. And then we're going to compare them to the 2024 Dodgers lineup. So we're going to take the Murderers Row lineup of the 2027 Yankees and compare them to the 2024 Los Angeles Dodgers lineup. So first, of course, we're going to talk about how they were built. You're going to learn how their owner and GM built one of, if not the greatest roster in Major League Baseball history. So in the world of baseball, the assembly of the 1927 Yankees stands as a masterclass in roster construction. Each player was a piece of a meticulously crafted plan put together by the visionary minds of owner Jacob Ruppert and general manager Ed Barrow. Let's talk about Ed Barrow for just a moment. Again, he was the architect of the Yankees dynasty. And you'll see how he put together the Yankees and how all this ties in and goes back to the Boston Red Sox. So if you're a Red Sox fan, you might want to cover your ears for some of this podcast, because if it wasn't for the Red Sox, the Yankees wouldn't have had this dynasty, at least not in the 1920s through into the 30s, and then some. So Ed Barrow was one of baseball's most influential executives, serving as the general manager of the New York Yankees from 1920 to 1945. He played a pivotal role in transforming the Yankees from a struggling franchise into one of the most dominant dynasties in sports history. He was born May 10th, 1868, in Springfield, Illinois, and he began his career in baseball not as an executive, but as a manager and a front office figure. So before joining the Yankees, he managed, yes, you guessed it, the Boston Red Sox, where he made one of the most consequential decisions in baseball history. Can you guess what that decision was? He was the one responsible for moving Babe Ruth from the pitching mound to the outfield. Of course, that shift allowed Ruth to focus on hitting, unlocking his potential as one of the greatest sluggers of the game. So here we have Babe Ruth, a sensational pitcher at the time, but of course he could really hit great too, but such a phenomenal pitcher. But yet Ed Barrow makes the decision, instead of having Ruth going back and forth between the outfield and pitching, just focus him on hitting because he can be even that much better. And what a great decision that was. So it was Ed Barrow, the one that saw that it was worth making this shift of taking Ruth from pitching full-time into playing the outfield full-time. So Barrow became the Yankees general manager in 1920. And that's at a time, of course, when the Yankees franchise had yet to win a championship. Under his leadership, the Yankees developed a culture of winning that would define the team for decades. So Barrow's tenure coincided with the Yankees' acquisition of Babe Ruth from the Red Sox, a move often considered the cornerstone of the Yankees' rise to prominence. So Barrow's vision extended beyond Ruth. He assembled a powerhouse roster through astute trades, signings, and a commitment to developing talent. So some of the key moves during his tenure was acquiring Lou Gehrig. He added depth by bringing in ball players like Tony Lazzeri, Earl Coombs, and post the 2020 or the 1927 Yankees, Bill Dickey, who turned out to be a Hall of Fame catcher, and he had a commitment to pitching. So he prioritized pitching by acquiring legends like Wade Hoyt and Herb Pennock and Red Ruffing, and he created a balanced team that could dominate on both offense and defense. So he also played a significant role in the construction of Yankee Stadium, often called the house that Ruth built. The stadium's opening in 1923 signaled the Yankees' arrival as baseball's premier franchise. So during his tenure as general manager, the Yankees won 14 American League pennants and 10 World Series championships. And these achievements solidified, of course, the Yankees' status as baseball's most successful franchise. Barrow's ability to blend player development with strategic acquisition set a standard for modern front office executives. And he retired in 1945. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1953. His legacy is celebrated as one of the greatest executives in Major League Baseball history, and his impact on the Yankees continues, of course, to resonate today. So Ed Barrow's tenure with the Yankees defined an era of dominance and innovation. His ability to recognize talent, make bold decisions, and build a winning culture turned the Yankees into the most iconic team in sports. So without his leadership, the Yankees dynasty, as we know it, might never have existed. So who did he tag as manager? Well, him and the owner brought in Miller Huggin. So Miller Huggin was a key piece of the puzzle brought on in 1917 to turn the Yankees franchise around. So this is the owner having to do with bringing in Miller Huggin. So, but then of course he had full support once Barrow came on board. So Huggin, known as a tactician, revered for his ability to handle star personalities and make strategic decisions that maximize his roster's strengths, he was the only man who knew how to keep me in line, stated Babe Ruth. And based on Ruth's off-the-field antics, that's quite the compliment. So Ban Johnson, the president of the American League at the time, recommended Huggins to Yankees co-owner Jacob Ruppert. So Yankees co-owner Tillinghast Houston opposed the idea, but Ruppert followed the suggestion. Eventually, in 1923, Houston sold his share of the team to Ruppert. So you can see what's going on in the mind of the, at the time, the co-owner for the Yankees, Jacob Ruppert, and what he was envisioning here to turn this franchise around. He wanted to bring in some big stars for the Yankees because, of course, back in the day, back in the early 1900s, there were many great stars, but they weren't on the Yankees known initially as the New York Highlanders and then eventually the Yankees. But other teams had them. I mean, other teams had these big stars, Ty Cobb and Christy Mathewson, and, there's a number of them. So he saw this was a key to having success. So together, Ruppert and Barrow orchestrated the assembly of a team that would go down in history not just for its star power, but for its unparalleled synergy. The 1927 Yankees are a testament to their vision and understanding of building a balanced team capable of dominating an era. So let's talk about Babe Ruth. So, of course, the cornerstone of the 27 Yankees Murderers Row lineup. He was acquired in 1920 from the Boston Red Sox for a record sum of $125,000 plus a $350,000 loan against Fenway Park. How about that? Now, remember, back in 1920, that's when Ed Barrow came on board for the Yankees. So this again, Ed Barrow involved in this Ruth trade to bring him over from the Red Sox. So this audacious move by Rupert and Barrow transformed the Yankees into a powerhouse almost overnight. Ruth's charismatic presence and unprecedented slugging ability made him not only the face of the Yankees, but a symbol of Major League Baseball's appeal. Now also we have, of course, Lou Gehrig. So Gehrig joined the Yankees as a substitute in 1923 after being scouted while playing for Columbia University. But by 1927, he had cemented his place at first base. His work ethic and quiet strength provided the perfect counterbalance to Ruth's flamboyance, making him a central figure in the lineup. Now in center field, Earl Coombs, drafted by the Yankees in 1924. Coombs was one of Barrow's finds from the minor leagues. His speed and consistency at the top of the lineup set the table for heavy hitters that followed. So Coombs excelled in 1927, leading the team with a .356 batting average and scoring 137 runs. How about that? Nice to be able to bat in front of Ruth and Gehrig. Now in left field was Bob Musil. Now Bob Musil, signed in 1920, was instrumental in the Yankees' outfield, known for his strong arm and ability to hit for power and average. Musil provided the Yankees with crucial versatility and production from the heart of the lineup. Then we have Tony Lazzeri, so another Barrow acquisition. So he joined the Yankees in 1926 after a standout season with the Salt Lake City Bees, where, get this, he knocked 60 home runs, 6-0. Again, unheard of back in the day. Of course, we know what happened in 1927 when Ruth set the record with his 60 home runs for a single season. So Lazzeri's prowess at second base and his power hitting capabilities made him a key component of the lineup, driving in over 100 runs during the 1927 season. Mark Koenig, he joined the Yankees in 1925. He was a shortstop, a solid defensive player, and a decent hitter. His role was to facilitate the top of the order, setting the stage for the power hitters behind him. Then we have Joe Dugan, who played third base, nicknamed Jumping Joe, came to the Yankees in 1922 via a trade from, you guessed it, the Boston Red Sox. An adept infielder, Dugan played a key role in solidifying the Yankees' defense at third base. Over the years, he occasionally shifted to a bench role, providing experienced depth and leadership within the field, especially during crucial late season and playoff games. Now for catcher, the starting catcher was Pat Collins, but there was a couple other backups as well that had their fair share of getting in the lineup as well. So Pat Collins was the starting catcher, acquired in 1926. He shared, again, the catching duties with, it was Benny Bengow and Johnny Grabowski, we'll talk about in just a moment. His skill behind the plate and ability to manage the Yankees pitching staff were critical components of the team's success. So Benny Bengow, again, backup catcher, a steady catcher known for his defensive prowess, joined the Yankees in 1923. His journey to the Yankees began in the minor leagues, where he caught the eye of scouts with his exceptional handling of pitchers and solid bat. As a backup catcher, Bengow provided valuable rest days for starting catcher Pat Collins, maintaining the team's defensive strength behind the plate. But then there was also Johnny Grabowski. So he was acquired by the Yankees from the Chicago White Sox in a multiplayer trade in 1926. So known for his energetic spirit and quick reflexes, Grabowski served as an essential part of the catching duo with Bengow. His addition was strategic, aimed at bolstering the team's catching depth, which back in the day was crucial given the demanding nature of the position. Okay, now other bench players that were key on the Yankees' 1927 roster. So Mike Gazzella, he's an infielder. He joined the Yankees in 1923. His path to the major leagues was marked by determination and grit, having worked his way up through various minor league levels. Although not a regular starter, Gazzella was invaluable as a utility infielder, ready to step in whenever needed to maintain the infield's integrity. And Ray Morehart, who was a second baseman. He was also part of the trade that brought Grabowski to the Yankees from the White Sox in 1926. As a utility infielder, Morehart provided depth across multiple infield positions. His versatile defensive skills and ability to make contact at the plate made him a reliable option off the bench. And I will say it again, both Godzilla and Morehart, a really great combination just to come off the bench to take care of some infield relief, just like having Bengal and Grabowski as the backup catchers to Collins. So really key moves here by Barrow to bring them on board. Then there was also Julie Wera. He was a backup third baseman signed by the Yankees and made his major league debut in 1927. So his journey was characterized by perseverance through the minor leagues, where he impressed scouts with his batting and fielding abilities. Although he saw limited action, Wera was an integral part of the team, providing backup for Joe Dugan and ensuring no drop in defensive performance when called upon. So he wasn't the greatest hitter in 1927, of course, for that team, or even off the bench. But again, it was good to have him there as a backup to make sure that Dugan could get some relief here and there. And then, last but not least, Cedric Durst, who was an outfielder and first baseman. So he was traded to the Yankees from the St. Louis Browns in 1926. Now, Durst added depth to the outfield and served as a left-handed option off the bench. His ability to play all three outfield positions allowed the Yankees to rest their starters without compromising their defensive outfield. So I just love the way that this roster was constructed by Ed Barrow. He has the power, the fielding, the speed, all across the lineup, and of course, and the bench as well. So the Yankees were in a great position to be very successful. Okay, now we're going to talk about a little bit more about the Boston Red Sox coming up. So because you can imagine, after I cover this next section about the pitchers, imagine if Ed Barrow didn't come over to the Yankees. What would have happened to the Red Sox? So we'll talk about that in just a moment. So the Yankees rotation was led by Wade Hoyt, Herb Pennock, and Urban Shocker. So Hoyt was acquired in 1921 from where else but the Boston Red Sox. So he was a consistent winner and an ace of the staff for the Yankees. And Pennock, another former, you guessed it, Boston Red Sox, joined in 1923 and brought poise and precision to the mound. And Shocker was acquired from the St. Louis Browns in 1925. He was known for his spitball and veteran savvy. The 1927 Yankees, often heralded as one of the greatest baseball teams in the history of Major League Baseball, boasted an impressive lineup, not just in batting, but also in pitching. The pitching staff, though sometimes overshadowed by the famed Murderers Row batting lineup, played a crucial role in the team's legendary success. So let's delve into the stories of how each member of the pitching staff found their way to the Yankees. Wade Hoyt is the staff ace, known as the Schoolboy Wonder. Wade Hoyt was already an established pitcher when he joined the Yankees in 1921. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Hoyt was discovered as a teenage phenom and made his major league debut at the age of 15. Before joining the Yankees, he played for several teams, including the Boston Red Sox. His acquisition by the Yankees was part of a larger strategy by the team's owners to build a championship-caliber team around Babe Ruth, who had been acquired just a year before. Hoyt's poise and control made him a cornerstone of the Yankees' pitching staff. Hoyt was known for his smart pitching and mental toughness. He possessed a wide array of pitches, including a strong fastball and sharp-breaking curveball. His ability to read batters and adjust his pitching strategy during games made him exceptionally effective. Hoyt was also noted for his composure under pressure, which made him a reliable pitcher in crucial games. Herb Pennock, another starter for the Yankees. His journey to the Yankees was a storied affair. Originally playing for the Philadelphia Athletics, he moved to the Boston Red Sox, where he developed into one of the premier left-handed pitchers of his era. In January 1923, the Yankees purchased Pennock's contract from the Red Sox, a move that was seen as a controversial one at the time, given the fierce rivalry between the two teams. Pennock's calm demeanor and pitching intelligence would prove instrumental in solidifying the Yankees' pitching strength throughout the decade. Pennock's pitching style was characterized by finesse rather than power. He was a left-handed pitcher who relied heavily on his pinpoint accuracy and a variety of breaking pitches. His curveball in particular was very deceptive, and he was adept at changing speeds. Pennock's intelligence on the mound allowed him to outthink hitters and keep them off balance. Urban Shocker, another starter for the 1927 Yankees, his story was one of resilience and skill. He began his major league career with the Yankees, but was traded to the St. Louis Browns, where he became one of American League's top pitchers. In 1925, the Yankees reacquired Shocker in a trade that strengthened their rotation with a seasoned and versatile pitcher. Despite battling heart issues, Shocker was known for his stamina and an impressive array of pitches that bewildered hitters. Shocker featured his spitball, a pitch that he could manipulate with great skill. Even after it was largely banned, he was grandfathered in and could legally throw it. His style relied on movement and deception rather than velocity. Shocker's repertoire allowed him to induce a lot of weak contact, making him one of the era's most effective pitchers. Another starter for the 27 Yankees, Walter Dutch Reuther, a veteran of both the Major Leagues and the Federal League when he joined the Yankees in 1926. He was acquired from the Washington Senators. Reuther was known for his powerful left-handed pitching and his experience in big games, having pitched in the World Series for the Cincinnati Reds. His tenure with the Yankees added a seasoned depth to their pitching rotation. Reuther, another left-hander, was known for his durability and ability to pitch complete games. His style included a mix of fastballs, sliders, and he was particularly effective against left-handed batters. Reuther was a seasoned pitcher who brought experience and a calming presence to the staff. Another starter, George Pipgrass, joined the Yankees as part of the same trade that brought Urban Shocker back to New York from the St. Louis Browns. He started his career as a reliever but transitioned into a starting role, becoming a key figure in the Yankees' rotation. Pipgrass's development was a testament to the Yankees' ability to nurture and utilize their pitching talent effectively. Pipgrass served as a workhorse for the Yankees during the 1927 season. He was a power pitcher who relied on his fastball and a good curve. His aggressive approach on the mound complemented the more finesse styles of his counterparts like Pennock and Shocker, providing a nice balance in the Yankees' pitching. Wilcie Moore, a bullpen ace for the 27 Yankees. His path was less traditional to get there. Moore spent several years in the minor leagues before his contract was purchased by the Yankees in 1926 when he was already 29 years old. His rookie season was nothing short of spectacular. He posted a remarkable 19-7 record with a 2.28 ERA, primarily out of the bullpen. Moore's heavy sinker and ability to pitch effectively in relief made him a unique and valuable member of the staff. Moore was a critical component of the Yankees' bullpen, often used as a relief pitcher and spot starter. Known for his sinking fastball, Moore's ability to induce ground balls made him extremely effective in saving games or holding leads. His style was straightforward and efficient, relying on his sinker to generate quick outs and keep his pitch count low. Miles Thomas in the bullpen. His journey to joining the 1927 Yankees is an interesting story of determination and development. Born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1897, Thomas worked his way through the minor leagues before making his major league debut. Thomas served as a part-time starter for the Yankees. He was known for his fastball and a solid curve, which he used effectively against both right and left-handed hitters. His style was more aggressive, aiming to challenge hitters early in the count. Bob Schalke, also out of the bullpen, was another veteran who played a significant role in the Yankees pitching staff. He had been with the team since 1915, witnessing and contributing to its transformation into a powerhouse. Schalke's experience and leadership were invaluable, both on the mound and in the clubhouse. Each member of the 1927 Yankees pitching staff brought their unique talents and stories to the team, contributing to its historic success. Their journeys, marked by trades, purchases, and patient development, reflect the diverse ways talent can come together to create a legendary team. Schalke, who had been a mainstay of the Yankees' rotation in previous years, served in both starting and relief roles in 1927. Known for his sharp breaking pitches and competitive nature, Schalke brought experience and a veteran presence to the mound. His ability to strike out batters was an asset in tighter game situations. Joe Girard also out of the bullpen, linked to the trade with the St. Louis Browns that brought in Cedric Durst on February 8th, 1927, in exchange for Sad Sam Jones. Girard, another part of the Yankees pitching staff, appeared in a few games during the 1927 season. His pitching style included a decent fastball and the use of an off-speed pitch to keep hitters guessing, though his appearances were limited. And Walter Beal, another bullpen pitcher for the Yankees, brought his contract. The Yankees bought his contract in 1924 from Rochester International. He pitched one inning for them on May 30th, 1927 at Shibe Park against the Philadelphia Athletics, surrendering one earned run, and that was it for Walter. So Miller Huggins crafted his Yankees batting order with a strategic eye aiming to maximize the offensive firepower of his lineup, which was famously dubbed Murderer's Row. His approach was rooted in the principles of balance, power, and consistency, allowing the Yankees to capitalize on their strengths and maintain pressure on opposing pitchers throughout the game. Okay, now let's do a comparison of how these two lineups, the 1927 Yankees and the 2024 Los Angeles Dodgers, compare and see just how closely the teams come together here. Okay, so looking at the lineups, we have at the leadoff position for the 27 Yankees was Earl Coombs. Now, he batted .356, and he had 231 hits that season. Mookie Betts, leadoff hitter for the 2024 Dodgers, batted .310, had 34 home runs. So pretty close call here with Mookie Betts hitting those 34 home runs with that .356 batting average. It was very impressive. Both excellent fielders and could bring some speed into the game as well. Batting second in the order for the Yankees, Mark Koenig, batted .285 that year, had 62 RBIs. And Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers batting second, batted .324 at 28 home runs. Clearly, Freddie Freeman has the advantage there. Now, batting third, this is pretty interesting. Of course, you have Babe Ruth, batted .356 with 60 home runs. Shohei Ohtani batted .305, of course, with his 42 home runs. So which one is the better player in the lineup? Well, when you look at the WAR for both of these players, with Ohtani, his WAR in 2024 was 9.2, and Ruth's WAR in 1927 was much higher. It was a WAR of 12.6. So certainly the edge goes to Babe Ruth for that WAR score. Batting cleanup in the order, Lou Gehrig, .373 with 47 homers. Teoscar Hernandez, .271 and 32 home runs. So clearly, Gehrig gets the edge there. So I would say of the lineup so far that let's say that Earl Coombs and Mookie Betts, it's essentially about a tie. Now, Mookie Betts was injured for part of the season, so another reason to just really score that no higher than a tie for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman batting second over Mark Koenig, and then to get Ruth and Gehrig over Ohtani and Hernandez. So now we go to the fifth spot in the order. Bob Musil batted .337 with 103 RBIs. Max Muncy, .232 with 35 homers. So Bob Musil certainly gets the edge, although Muncy was an excellent fielder. Musil wasn't too bad either, but still the edge goes to Musil. Batting sixth, Tony Lazzeri versus Will Smith. So Lazzeri batted .309, and he had 102 RBIs. Will Smith, .275 and 24 homers, so the edge goes to Lazzeri there. For the Yankees, batting seventh, Joe Dugan, batted .269, again, a good defender. Gavin Lux, he played shortstop for the Dodgers, again, second base for the Dodgers. Batted .285, 15 stolen bases, again, a really solid defender. The edge definitely goes to Gavin Lux at second base for the Dodgers over Dugan, playing third base, batting seventh. And then in the eighth spot, Pat Collins, the catcher for the 27 Yankees, batted .275. And Tommy Edman batted, typically in that eighth spot. We're putting him there in this matchup comparison. Played multiple positions, but we'll have him here at shortstop. batted .273 and had 22 stolen bases. Because of the value that Pat Collins brought to the pitching staff, and yet Tommy Edman and his versatile capability to move all over the diamond, play various positions, let's call that one a tie as well. So overall, you'd have to give the edge to the murderer's row lineup of the 27 Yankees versus the 2024 Los Angeles Dodgers, but it's fairly close. It's fairly close. So the Dodgers have done a really great job of their roster construction to put together that team. And of course, we know all about now the 1927 New York Yankees and their roster construction. And a friendly reminder to head on over to baseballclassics.com/diamondview to get the latest updates every day in Major League Baseball. Every morning it's updated, so you always have fresh content covering Major League Baseball rumors, top stories, transactions, trades, free agent updates for you, and so much more inside Baseball Classics Diamond View. Again, it's a free service, baseballclassics.com/diamondview. Let everybody know who's a Major League Baseball fan about it. Again, there's no login. There's no sign-up required. You just go in and enjoy it. It's our way of saying thank you to all the Major League Baseball fans that have supported Baseball Classics throughout the decades. So until next time, we hope you have a terrific day, and we'll see you for the next feature story coming up at Baseball Classics Diamondcast.